Well, hello, this is Barbara, and I make candles. Like I told you, I've been a candle maker as a hobby for a number of years. So these are old containers, and what I did was I scrubbed them out with a Brillo pad, and then I cleaned them all with alcohol, and they're drying. So I was trying to figure out how I could encourage people to try to make this at home without making it too complicated. So what I did was I ordered just a few things so that I can give you a price of what it cost me. Of course, I ordered this often, so I might get a better deal, but I have a 10-pound bag of soy wax from, which it says natural soy wax from the Candle Science. I have a 1-pound bag of palm wax, which is pretty right by the number of candles I make. And then this is the receipt, so the total was $45.94, and I got a 16-ounce bottle of scent. So one of the things that costs a lot is when you buy all different kind of stuff. Like if you buy the 1-ounce bottle of scent, you're not going to get very many candles out of it. Basically, in like this 8-ounce candle, I'm gonna end up mixing 3 basically tablespoons of the scent in with the melted soy and palm wax and stir it all up. And then in a 16-ounce cup, which is what I stir in, I would probably be able to pour 2 candles. So I'm just trying to tell you, like, if you went and bought $45 worth of candles plus tax, this is actually $45.94, right? And plus tax. And how long would they last you? So I don't think that I'm going to get all these candles out of here, but logically I could, because they're 8-ounce candles. There'd be 160 ounces in this 10-pound bag. When you melt it, it doesn't come out the same as the flakes. So, but I would probably be able to make all these candles here without a problem. So the only things that I have on hand that you might not have on hand would be wick and wick tabs. And of course, I have tons of that. I buy the wick by the spool from Candle Wick, but there's a number of companies that sell that. And this is just a start. So I'm going to melt the wax and dip my wicks, and then set all the wicks before I even start working on the candles. So one thing I'll say is if you use anything after having a candle in it, it's going to smell or taste like the candle. Any utensils, any pot, anything like that. I'm going to make everything over a double broiler, which I always do. And like I say, I have a process. So first I'm going to get all the containers ready. I'm going to do the wick, so I'll melt a little bit of the soy wax over a double broiler and cut enough wick to fill all those candles. And then I'll soak that wick in that soy wax, and then I'll take it out and let it harden. So it's not a fast process if you want a nice candle. Then I'll cut all the wick and glue it into the bottom of the candle with a little wick tab and some hot glue. And when they're all set and dry, then I'll start working on the wax part to pour them. So one of the other things I do, because, you may only want to make 3 candles right now, and then spend another, $25 to get another 16-ounce bottle of scent, and make 3 more candles out of that. I particularly just want to make all the candles out of this one scent at this time. So I think it'll all work out. But the process is important, because if you start trying to do everything at one time, you end up making a big mess. It costs you all your product, and you're not saving any money. But I can't imagine me getting this many candles, possibly, out of spending, $50 at Walmart. I might get 5 candles. So there is a value in this if you know how to do it. But if you just buy a kit, you're like $34, $40 for the kit. I recommend the one at Candlewick in Pennsylvania, CANDLEWIC.com. They have the best kits to me. But there's other companies that sell kits. So for that amount of money, you're going to get 3 candles at least. So this to me is a much better bargain, and obviously this is why I've been making candles at home, because I can make candles for me and a few friends and still not spend as much as I would if I went to Walmart and bought 5 candles, probably. Because I'm not going to buy a $3 candle or a $5 candle. These, in comparison, would sell for like $14 or $15. A big candle like that could be $25. So, you know, I think it's a value bargain to do it this way. And I'll do another video a little later on when I have things looking, the containers with the wicks in them, and we'll see what happens, okay? It's just an introduction on why I make candles at home versus buying them at a store, because I get a lot more candles for the money, and over time you collect different scents. You know, I might not use this all this time, so I'll have this scent and I have about 4 more outside. So thank you very much and have a good day.